Okay, here we will be learning about how to clean a data set and also ways on cleaning of a data set. Here we will know how to clean a data set and also methods of cleaning a data set. So the first way to clean a data set, if there are missing values, we will be removing missing values overall. So if we want to remove a data set, any data variables in your data set or data frame, we can use the drop NA function from Pandas. So let's take another look of our data frame here of our data set. Let's wait for it to load. And let's see if there are actually missing values. There are certain rows with missing values. So this one on row number 17 or the 18th row, there is a missing value. And also, let's take a look at the other pages. There's on row number 91 or the 92nd row, 92th row, there is a missing value also. So we can say that there are certain values in our data set that have missing values. So let's apply the df.dropNA function. However, what I suggest doing here is you need to make a new data frame and so let's call it drop df. So we will be dropping all of the columns with missing values, and then we'll be assigning it to this new to a new variable, to a new code in order in order to not change this one, because I don't really suggest changing the the data set itself, because it can become confusing maybe in the middle of your project. Maybe there's something that you want to fix, and you've already edited the data set to the point that it cannot be recognized from the first one, from the original data set. Then this can be a problem. So this is what I suggest. Just make an entirely new you need to initialize an entirely new variable, and then it will be assigned as the modified data frame. So here we have dropped underscore df. That is the data set with dropped variables. So let's print, let's output the drop df. Let's take a look at that code again. So previously there were 169 rows. Oh, something's wrong with my. Previously there were 169 rows, but now there are only 164 rows. Oops, it says here. So let's take a look at the shape first. It says here the shape, there's only 164 rows. Previously there were 169. So let's verify if there's only 169. So yeah, there's 169 and now there's only 164. But if you wanna see the shape, you can actually just print there the drop dot shape of a. You can just print out the shape. Oh, sorry, you're not supposed to put an open and close parentheses. You just need to put in there dot shape. So our new file, it has 164 rows and 4 columns. But in the previous one, in the previous one, there were in the previous one there were 169. So there are a total of 5 rows that were removed. So so this one is the drop df, and as you can see here, there aren't any more NaNs or missing values because we have completely removed them. So what happened here, maybe if there is a missing value here, this entire row will be removed. So example, this 151.1 didn't exist. It will be example if it were NaN, this value 139, 103, and 30 will also be deleted from the data set. So that is one of the ways that you can clean your data if there are missing values. And then you can do this is you can do this kind of cleaning when there aren't a lot of when there aren't a lot of missing values. However, there are data sets wherein a lot of there's a lot of rows that have missing values, but even though they have missing values, the other values that they contain can be very important when it comes to your analysis. So example here, maybe 50 rows didn't include the pulse, but still you can still get insight from the duration, max pulse, and calories. So if 50 of them didn't include the pulse, it wouldn't be exactly recommendable for all of them to be removed. Maybe you can just analyze them on a different perspective. So instead of removing the rows, we can actually fill in an entirely new variable. So let's know more about the fill and a function of pandas. So with the fill and I'm gonna first delete these ones. So instead of dropping them, what we're gonna do is we are going to fill them in with an entirely new variable, fill and a. So this one is the code dot fill na and open and close parentheses. And there should be at least one argument here, which is what number you want to be filled in. So example, I'm gonna put here 1000. I'm gonna put in the value 1000. And let's first print the shape of the new data frame. So previously, the original dataset has 169 rows, but this one, it still has 169 because we didn't delete any of them. So let's take a look at the entire dataset. And here we can see the value that we have filled in. So instead of a missing value, we put in 1000. Put here 1000. So that is what happened. Instead of deleting them, we put in a new number. So this isn't exactly reliable because the number 1000 that we put in isn't based on anything. It wasn't referenced from any method of central tendency. So it's just a random number. That's why it's not that reliable. It's not a very reliable method of just putting in a random number. So it's much better for you to remove the number than just putting in a random number. So if we wanted to fill them in, we should use either the mean, a median, or a mode. So, how are we going to get the mean, median, and the mode? So, getting the mean, median, and mode is actually very, very easy. So, I'm just gonna delete this code first. For us to get the mean, median, and mode, there's actually an available function from Pandas. So there's no need for you to manually code the entire process of getting those variables. So just like what we realized there is that there's actually the the only column with missing values are in the calories column. So in the other columns like pulse and max pulse, they don't have any missing values. When it comes to the calories one, there are missing values. However, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that just because there aren't missing values, you should not do any more steps of cleaning the data, because even though there's missing values, there can also be outliers. So we will know more about outliers in the next episodes. But here we'll just be focusing on missing values. So taking a look here, we want to, so what we need to find is the mean, median, and mode of calories. So df. So let's assign it to a variable. Let's initialize a variable mean. So this will become a floating number or a float because the function mean will output a float. So in order to get the mean of the column calories, I'm just going to get the mean of calories. So in order for you to do that, you just have to subset the data set. So in order to subset, you just need to open and close bracket here and put in what column you want to find the mean. So you only need to find the mean for calories, right? So you're just gonna put there calories, and then you're just gonna input there dot mean, open and close parentheses in order to call the function. So because you put in a bracket here, you are only calculating the variable of calories, nothing else. So you're not calculating the mean of pulse, not max pulse. You're only calculating the mean for the series of from the subset calories. So let's print what is the mean of the column of calories. So it is 375.79 approximately. So that is the mean. So what about the median and the mode? So the code here is very similar. You only have to change it to, instead of a mean, it's just going to be dot median. And then for the mode, same exact thing. Instead of median or mean, it's going to be mode. So let's print the three of these. So I'm going to print them, the three of them. Oops. So for our mean is 375. Our uh our median is 318, and our mode is 300. So you're gonna choose between these three variables on what you want to use to fill in the missing values. So uh what's usually utilized is the mean value, because when calculating the mean, you need to consider all of the values and then having an average and getting the average of all the values in that specific series. So the mean can be provide can provide the it can provide what the average output will be. So let's do what we've done before. So it's going to be we're going to put in a filled mean df. That will be the name of our variable. So we're gonna code this by df dot fill na. Instead of putting a random variable here or any random number, we are going to put in the value of mean. So after that, okay, let me delete this code first. Let's print the new data frame where let's put in the output it where the we put in the mean as a fill for the missing values. So here 300, this one most likely was a missing value because the value for calories here is equals to the average of all the calories, which is 375. So instead of just deleting this entire thing or putting in a random number, we are putting in the mean or the average. You can see there. So these were the ones that were filled up. So that is a way for us to clean our data set given that there are missing values. So you can either delete them or you can fill them, or you can fill a new number inside of them. So this you can fill them in with any random number, or you can fill them in with a number that you have calculated. So this can be the mean, median, or the mode. So preferably you can put in the mean, you can even put in the median, or even the mode. S- So we are done with cleaning when there are empty values.